Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
Must remember not to sneeze near you. This one had a, what are those called again? Social life. You've got a once-in-a-generation mind. Someone with a talent for exploiting insecurities. I hear Monarch's in need of more game hunters. I can be reasonably sure you know how to add and subtract.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 11%. Skip drive.
Shit.
Inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck! Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I'd... Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hull had grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the... This...
here before you get yourself killed. Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. You pulling my limb? I mean, yeah, of course. Marauders. Bunch of addle-brained derelicts. I could round them up all by myself. I just, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some. Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
I just earned a fine bonus.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal deterrence. Gesture procedures initiated. Disengage in airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, ma'am, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Marauders, deserters, illegal landing. What is this colony coming to?
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's Marauder territory, friend. Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Four workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. Yeah? You could look at it that way, I suppose, but you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. That's life on the frontier. Hang on, I'm doing some... Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem's the paperwork. Former people, yeah. Marauder's been raiding. Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. If those Marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery...
Huh? What?
Huh?
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene. No, thank you. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails. You will also report to me in the event of your death. Whereupon... A ship? Dear... I don't approve of fantasizing. It's a Vicar Maximilian. Our man from the OSI. You'll find him in... Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. As broke as pie, I simply cannot afford it. I am a Thank you, no. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay. And that I Not a bad idea. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. Much obliged. What can I do for you? Oh? Am I? You may think that, whether you're showing up to... You know about Eugene? How? Then, you know Phyllis suggested selling off Eugene's gold teeth. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations. That's unthinkable. Eugene's body... I can't ask Silas to... Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature, and an IOU.
You read the latest report?
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
If only McDevitt's folk hadn't abandoned us. Use those extra hands.
Have another 0G.
Hey.
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. And before you ask, you ought to go have a talk with the boss. Music to my ears. It's not the best choice. Go right. What, you mean Edgewater? It's fine and dandy. I have every reason. I don't get paid for banter. Go right. Plague. I don't. You have got the wrong idea about me. Some of us who get sick are liable to exaggerate the conditions of that sickness, but survival of the fittest. It ain't just medical treatment is commensurate with our value to society. Then the hand of medical science will not grace you with its touch. And listen, you mind if we talk about other than yourself? Definitely the vicar. But there's something about him that bothers me. Like he's not one of... I'd keep a few paces between myself and Miss Holcomb, the town mechanic, since her dear father left the world. No ill intent in her, mind. Just a queer... Amelia. Definitely Amelia Kim. I advise against stepping foot in her... Word is, they're gonna replace her with an auto-mechanical barkeep.
Something got you down?
Nothing. Just don't want to fall sick.
Sorry. I'll just be...
Out of your pay. You some sort of freelancer?
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it... Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. If you're not familiar with... Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased part. Shame, though. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Kept just between the two of us. I'm pretty sure. Not half as awful as the bill Eugene left us with. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. First of all, that's a horrible thing to say. Secondly, yes, we did. When one of your workers commits a crime, in other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me.
Don't make me report you.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking...
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of you. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just... old.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to this. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retreat. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who... No, I do not imagine the people living in the botanical labs. They're just... Good law, no, I don't want you killing anyone, least of... My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power... Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kind. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But we belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately.
My dad told me all about the plant. If that's all.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holt. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusted.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpin.
Well, I am glad to hear that.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And it's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets... Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big... Alls I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. Can't say as I know. I wasn't... If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best... I don't know anybody well. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no... I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, that's what my dad used to... I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out.
Just tagging along.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling?
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the I can't imagine what would be so great. Depriving them of safety from the... I can see why that troubles you. They rejected the order of society. Does that strike you? Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's... Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the... Not if things are... If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the... One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down Band Her... I happen to know such a book is, as we speak. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have... It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name... Thank you. If you...
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you around here too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all. None of us are above confessionals.
What have you got to confess? You ain't...
Talking to the good vicar always lifts up my spirits.
Okay, gone quiet.
Mr. Thompson. Whoa, well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my... You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's... What? No. I mean, I might be. Silas knows, doesn't he? That's... Sounds like he's already told you. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching.
Don't say that, Mr. Abernathy. You still got a couple decades in you.
I'd steer clear, Ms. Holcomb. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave. You are? I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see your way to... There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community. I need you to break in. I'll do... I tried medicating myself with adrenatime. Didn't do much for me as far as... Anyway, I can't just buy medicine. Distribution of medicine is strictly prohibited to any workers beneath the acceptable margin of health. It is what it is. Town's got a limited supply. You will not find any guards within sight of... I have it on good authority. There's a gang of them. So you'll do it then? You oblige me with your hate. Just keep your head down when you're in there. Marauder. I know that. But Reed would have wrote me up. Constable would have locked me up and wrote me up. Could have gone to see the good vicar, but...
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy.
Had your rations yet?
Yep.
When I was
Thank the law. I've been... You ever swung a trench? It is indeed. And I will thank you to hand it here. You got some quick eye. The war. I'm talking about That's right. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures from the swarms of I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saw tuna cans, mostly. Some Spacer's chaw. Enlistment fees. Yeah, I suppose. They have sent a scout. The scout must... Mechanicals got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Mechanical repellent! A stroke of inspiration from the law itself. Here, I've been... Go on. I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security. Unofficially, strictly between you and me. Go on. You ever seen the way a mechanical just stands there? Just... Mechanicals have been programmed to it. First they will rob us of our jobs.
Hey! What do you think you're doing? Just don't make any trouble for me, okay?
Aw, he ain't no threat. Bet I could fix him up smart.
Searching for repair bay. Error. Navigation systems failed.
I could probably fix that. Yep, I see the problem. His nav mod got dislodged. Must have taken a tumble. Just gotta get... There we go. Jeremy's good as new.
Navigation systems operational. Optimal path to...
I don't...
Spacer's Choice reminds all colonists that serving the Spacer's Choice family.
Be more...
Self-diagnostics initiated. Please do not disturb.
Bring us honor. You beat that scout to scrap with its own leg? In fact, I think the time's coming to unwrap that package you delivered me. Feast your eyes, soldier. This here's a genuine Spacer's Choice in... You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a grounded fish? There's a workbench right through this door. Time's come for you to jerk. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given joy. I've been after a passcode for years. I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a... There's the rub. If a mechanical breaks down, the logic module...
I don't reckon so. I work with gears and pistons and such.
You know, she names the mechanicals she fixes. Calls them Bess and Cla... If you die horribly, I'm...
Here they come! Nice one! Everyone all right? that's clever.